Hi and welcome to Cooking Cronies. I'm Vicki and today I'm going to answer that question, what's for dinner? I'm going to show you how to make this easy, budget-friendly family meal. I'm going to do a baked ham with all the sides. We're doing this under the COVID-19 situation, so I had to use the ingredients that were on hand. So this is a great affordable meal to make anytime, and it's usually we have most of these things on hand or something similar. So I'm just using a 7-pound ham that I got from Walmart. It's a great value brand. Nothing with it. It did not come with any packets or anything like that. I'm going to stick that in a shallow baking pan, and I have a can of pineapple. You can also use apple juice if you want, but I'm using a pineapple, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar to that, and I'm going to stir that up. Now I'm going to score the ham using my knife, and I'm just going to go and cut slits all around the ham. Just be very careful, of course, as you're using your knife, because it's really easy to get in a hurry, and that's when accidents happen. So I have, of course, I'm speeding up my film here, but I did go very slow. And you can see I'm scoring just horizontally and vertically, just crisscrossing them. And then I'm going to take my pineapple slices. If you're not using pineapple, you will skip this part, but I am using pineapple juice with the pineapples. I only had 1 can on hand, otherwise I would have used more. And first I'm going to base the juice here onto my ham, just brushing it on all sides. This is a little brush I just picked up at Walmart. I really like it. It is the silicone brushes too, by the way. And I'm going to turn it over now and brush it on so I get all sides of it just really well saturated with my juice. Again, you can use apple juice with your brown sugar too. If you do that, you won't have this next step, but I am using pineapple, which I love, so I am going to just take my pineapples and secure them to the ham with my toothpicks. You can also add little cherries to the middle, which I did not have, but I could use maraschino cherries, which I've done before, and it just looks so pretty. I'm going to pour the remainder of this juice over the ham, and I would advise to add a little bit of water to the bottom of that pan before you stick it in the oven. I did not do that, and I had to do that later, so you might want to add just a little bit of water to that pan. And I'm going to stick that in my oven, 325 degrees for an hour and a half. Now I have my eggs already boiled. I just did 6, but you can do more if you have more people for your dinner. I cut my boiled eggs in half, and I'm just taking the center out and just the yolks and the cooked yolks, and just adding them all to my bowl. And they're coming out really easy here, so you might want to use a little spoon or something to help you, but mine just came out so easy. And I have a little tray here that makes it a little bit easier, but if you don't, you can just put them on a plate. And I'm going to mash my yolks with a fork. And if you just use your fork and mash them, you will find that you will come out with a really creamy consistency. Now I'm adding mayonnaise, and I'm not measuring, but you can kind of see it's probably a couple tablespoons, and I do end up adding a little more. So probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and you want to do this to taste. Now I'm going to add a little bit of mustard, and not as much. I add more mayonnaise than mustard to mine, but some people just use mustard. They don't even use mayonnaise. I always put the dill pickle relish in mine. We love that. You don't have to if you don't like the pickle relish, but we do. And you can see I'm adding a little bit more mayonnaise just so I get that creamy texture. It came out so nice. And now I'm going to just go ahead and spoon my mixture into my eggs. I'm just using a spoon. You can use, if you have one of those, like a Ziploc bag, you can put your mixture in a Ziploc bag, cut the end, and just squeeze it into your egg. That works very well, the same way that you would do a cupcake or decorate a cupcake or a cake or cookie, but I'm just using a spoon. They came out so good, and I'm just sprinkling a little bit of paprika on top. I just think it makes it so pretty. And look how nice. That's great for summertime, wintertime, anytime. Now I'm going to use a couple of cans of just the cut green beans right out of the can. You can use whatever green beans you have. And I'm going to add a can of cream of mushroom soup. I'm just going to add a splash of milk. I'm not even measuring it, probably a quarter of a cup. And I had these French's dried onions. It was probably a half a can is all I had, but I'm just mixing those in there as well, just enough. As you can see, probably maybe a half a cup, maybe a little more, 3/4 of a cup, just to kind of blend it in there. And then I'm adding a little bit of pepper. We're just going to stick that in the oven, and I would normally cook this at 350 degrees for probably about 30 minutes. And I just have these oven ready rolls. They're already risen. You just stick them on a baking sheet. I always brush them with melted butter, and I'm going to put them in the oven for about 6-7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the top. It just depends on your oven. Now I took the beans out of the oven, and I'm going to sprinkle a few of these onions on top. So I save few of these back just to have as a garnish. It's really pretty. I'm going to put that back in the oven for about 10 more minutes, and I'm going to get my potatoes peeled. Our potatoes are so simple. Once I get them peeled, I just dice them, cut them into small pieces, and I put them in a pot of boiling water. And I boil them for maybe 10 minutes. You just have to boil them until you can put a fork in them easily. And then you drain them. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of milk and butter and pepper. And that's all we add in our potatoes. And you just mash them up with some milk and butter and some pepper, and they taste great. Now I made the jello the night before. I started off with 2 packs of cherry sugar-free jello, the 0.3 ounce packages, and I'm adding 2 cups of boiling water to it. You can use any flavor of jello you want. Now I'm adding 1.5 cups of cold water and 2 cups of applesauce, and I'm using the unsweetened. You can use whichever you prefer. Now you just blend this together, and this won't set firm enough to put in a mold, but it's very, very good. And and it tastes good. It's one of our favorites, and ever since we discovered applesauce in our jello, this is the only way we eat it. You want to cover that tightly and put it in the refrigerator and allow it to chill. And usually we put it in the night before and let it chill overnight. This turned out so good. I did make a side salad as well, which I didn't show, but we really enjoyed this. So thank you so much for watching today. If you are new to the channel, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We put videos out every week. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day.